Hello, how's it going?
Alright. I'm Sheltie, and I'm here with my commentators.
Hello, I'm Zoro, and also known as Seronius. It might be helpful to use the full screen name. And we're here to kick off this marathon with a run of
FireRed any percent. So this is my main speedrun game, and the second one I've learned fully, so I'm really excited to show this off, get some fundraising in for our charity Outright International. Alright, so
let's start off.
Hold on, I'm gonna
Let's start off this run.
Alright. Gonna start in 3, 2, 1, and we're going.
So we're gonna start off, chances are at least, start off this marathon by completely invalidating the run.
And I'm not gonna hit the nip.
And the reason why is this game starts with a pretty horrible frame perfect RNG manipulation. What we're trying to do is get the, not perfect is a little too much, but a really good Squirtle. And we're going to do this by, once Sheltie puts in the trainer name and is able to get into the game, she's going to check her trainer ID, plug into a program that will calculate what the RNG seed is and what is a good frame to actually pick up the Squirtle. The reason why we're most likely going to invalidate the run is it's very inconsistent to hit, and Sheltie has a backup save.
Yeah, so there's one Squirtle on this ID, so I'm going to go for the manip, and if I don't hit it, I'm just going to soft reset and go for my backup one. Right, the one I got, the one that I can go for, it's not terribly good, so chances are I'll just end up soft resetting. But yeah, so there's a lot of things that advance RNG in this game, like this NPC moving, and the game runs at 60 frames per second, so there's a lot of times you'll see people going for PB world record attempts that just end up in the lab resetting for 30 minutes, an hour, or worse. Alright.
Just give her a second to... Alright, and let's see. Are you gonna check if you got the Squirtle?
Yeah, I'm gonna check it.
So as for why this is so important, there's gonna be a lot of Pokemon runs on this marathon. So might as well go over how generally stats are calculated, and this will apply for everything Gen 3 onwards.
So I was 2 frames early, so I'm just soft resetting and then going with a Squirtle that I had backed up saved earlier.
Stats are, each individual stat is roughly the factor, the result of the product of 3 different factors. And this first factor you can conceptually think of as like the base factor. It is the sum of twice the base stats, the Pokemon's IVs, and their EVs. I'll gloss over EVs. They're basically like a battle experience type thing, and so that doesn't really contribute to variance. What's that?
I thought Eevee was a Pokemon.
Ha 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 ha. EV, 2 letters. IVs are, there's one for each of the 6 stats, and they're unique to each individual specific Pokemon. And it can be 0 to 31. And for reference, Blastoise, the final evolved form of Squirtle, their base special attack, the stat we care the most about, is 85. An IV of 31, as opposed to IV of 0, gives us 18% more special attack, and that translates to 18% more damage. Early game, it's even more significant. Squirtle's base special attack is 50, and so that's pretty much a strip 30% more damage it will be doing.
Yeah, it just
and the other thing,
it's incredibly worth it to manip the Squirtle. You won't really see any Gen 3 runs that are done manipulative just because of how bad it is. So one thing I gotta do right now is I gotta KO a Pokemon on Route 1. It's either level 2 or 3, and I need to do this to hit a certain experience threshold, basically hit level 8 after the first trainer battle we have to do. And so I don't have any Pokeballs or anything right now. I'm going to have to get 2 Pokemon that use HMs, Cut and Fly. Only 18 more damage if you hit the move. Listen, we'll get to the low accuracy moves later. Let's appreciate Tackle while we have it. But yeah, so now I just gotta run from these, and we'll get a Pokemon that can use Cut and a Pokemon that can use Fly. FireRed has 4 hidden moves they're need to complete the game, or at least a speed run: Cut, Fly, Surf, and Strength. Blastoise is gonna learn Surf and Strength. So we just need one that can use Cut and one that can use Fly. So we will probably get those on our way back up, and then there are backups if we don't.
Going back to stats real quick, the other 2 main factors that are multiplying there are level, simple enough, and nature. Each Pokemon gets randomly assigned between the non-HP stats a 10% increase and a 10% decrement, and they can land on the same stat, canceling each other out. And so for the Squirtle that Sheltie aims for, she's looking for 29 to 31 IVs in special attack.
No, 30 or 31. People who tell you
30 or 31?
Yeah, people who tell you that you can technically run 28 or 29, but that's really
It's
bad.
painful.
It makes a lot of damage ranges worse. So 30 or 31 is preferred, and the one we have right now is 31 IV special attack.
Speed is 21 or above, and the nature, she always goes for plus special attack, and the decrement is any of attack, defense, or special defense.
Yeah, you can't do minus speed because there's just a few dangerous things that you won't outspeed. And you need reasonably good speed IVs on your Squirtle, so 16's like the bare minimum, 21 or 25 is what most people usually take, and then the Squirrel I hit has 29 speed EVs, or speed IVs, so it's pretty fast. It's going to outspeed all the important things. There's one item that I'm going to pick up a little bit later on that's going to boost speed just a little bit, and we need that to win a speed tie. But the Squirrel I have is really good, and it has pretty good stats in HP attacks, defense, special defense too. It's mild nature, which is minus defense, so there's going to be a few fights that are a little more dangerous with that, but each nature has its own detriments. Actually, I'm going to tackle this a second time. So I just want to get really low because the catch rate is dependent upon HP for each of the Pokemon I'm trying to catch. So I wanted to make sure that was out of the 50% catch rate and down to like more of a 70-80% catch rate.
And if you glossed over a lot of that, I don't blame you. The only thing you know is special attack good, speed good.
Yep. Yeah, there's been a lot of work gone into routing out this game. I didn't start running it until back in January. Alright, so we're not getting a cutter on Route 1, so because this is FireRed instead of Leaf Green, so there's only a couple of version differences. In Leaf Green, you can catch a Sandshrew on one of the upcoming routes that can learn both Cut and Strength. So Leaf Green is typically considered the slightly preferred version to run, but you can run either. And World Record's done FireRed, but Shiru's also a god gamer, so that's why. But I'm gonna have to catch a Paris in one of the upcoming caves, so hopefully that thing won't break out.
Alright, so Old Man's going over how to catch a Pokemon here. The one factor that it doesn't really show explicitly on screen is lowering their HP makes it easier to catch. But this is not Pokemon Let's Go. We don't have to catch 50 Pokemon.
Yeah, this is, with the newer games, there's some more catch requirements and things like that. So this is different from both of the other Kanto-based games. So obviously there's Let's Go, which we just mentioned. Oh, got 1% encounter. So the first 6 tiles on each route, if it's grass, I think it's 7 if it's in a cave, or 7 in forest, 8 in a cave. Each tile's a 1% chance to get an encounter. So that was very unlikely. Mm-hmm. Yes, T-Pat, we said let's go. But
yeah, Pokemon Let's Go Starmie.
Let's go Starmie. And here we use Squirtle as our main Pokemon throughout the whole run. We hopefully don't need to sack either of our HM companions. They can be there for a part of the game if we need to like revive. I'm gonna pick up a few safety things. And speaking of safety, so we're about to come up to our first trainer fight. And this dude is named Sammy, and he's a level 9 Weedle. So something really cool.
Oh no, go ahead.
Okay, so something really cool that we're going to do. We're going to do a lot of HP manipulation throughout this run. Because Squirrel's special ability is Torrent, which basically, long story short, when you're a third of your health or less, it makes its water type moves really strong. Powers them up like 1.5 times. And so this Weedle knows Poison Sting, so we're going to want to try to get to poison us and then heal at a really good health for when we go into the rock type gym. So after we win this fight, we're going to get just enough experience. Oh, another encounter. Just enough experience to hit level 8. And I'm also going to save before this fight because there is a slight chance we can die. And then we get all the way back to Pallet Town and we have to walk back, which is really slow.
Yeah, in the first like 45 minutes, there's about 6 fights in this game that just eats runs. This is one of them.
This one's very unlikely to die, but when you do, it's a pain, especially in a marathon. So, we're just gonna tail whip it once so it gets a little more damage. Okay, poison's really good. I will have to use a potion I picked up to heal a little bit more.
So, since this is the first fight where you see combat stages in play, so you can think of each combat stage starting off as a multiplier that is 2/2. Yes, I know that is 1, but humor me for a second. Each time you increase or decrease a Pokemon stat in combat, that multiplier adjusts. For example, when you use a move that increases your attack, you increment the numerator going from 2 to 3, all the way up until stage 6 where you have 8/2. Conversely, decreasing a stat increases the denominator, assuming you're starting at the neutral state, going from 2/2 to 2/3. And what that translates to is that each stage is a 50% marginal increase over base stat. So +1 attack, you're doing 50% more damage. +2, 100% more damage. At +6, you're doing 300% more damage. The percent increased damage with decreasing the opponent's defense works out to be the same. So if they're at -2 defense, you're doing double damage.
Okay, so what I just did right there is I brought my I let my poison damage take me down to 6 health. And so we kind of like, the exact health we want to go down to is based on our stats, but long story short, we want to be in Torrent for the next 2 fights so we can kill everything with Bubble. So these next 2 fights are really dangerous as well, so I'm going to save for both. Liam, this camper, he has a Geodude, which is just the 1-shot in Torrent, but he has a Sandshrew that is a 2 or maybe 3-shot depending upon your damage rolls. And it knows both Sand Attack and Scratch, and so if you get unlucky, it can knock you out. And again, you get, up until you beat the 2nd gym, you get sent all the way back to Pallet Town if you die, so that's just incredibly slow and not worth the risk.
And coming up is Brock, which is the second fight that we need to worry about really in this run.
3rd. 2nd in this gym. 3rd.
Is Liam really that bad?
Yes.
Oh, as you get down to 1 HP.
So I'm gonna have to heal turn 2 on Brock, but it's fine. That's another reason why I picked up that extra potion. I picked one up from the Mart guy, and then I picked one up next to Sammy. In normal any percent runs, you just pick it up the one by Sammy and just kind of hope you don't. You hope for a Rock Tomb miss, or a Tackle miss, or something. Because Brock's Rock Tomb is like, what, like 85% accurate? I forgot which one, but...
Somewhere in there.
It usually, yeah, Brock's a big one ender. Also because it's Geodude's a one-shot, but even if you're in Torrent, it's Onyx. First of all, the Onyx outspeeds you, and second of all, if you're in Torrent, it's a 9 and 16 range to kill. So, a lot of times, like, even if he missed Rock Tomb or whatever he uses here, he might use Tackle because I'm minus defense. But I'm just gonna go for this. And hopefully whatever move he uses won't miss, because that's slow.
And since we want to be in Torrent after this fight, what you might see Sheltie do is use Withdraw and sandbag a little bit just to position Squirrel's HP right at the right point.
I need to...
Hey.
Oh no, I need to mute my... I mute my alerts. Okay, anyways. Alright, yeah, so we want to be in Torrent at the end of this, or at least relatively low health. Because...
10 is a little high, but we just popped out of Torrent.
It's okay.
Yeah,
we're gonna rely on getting that back in on the next... Oh. No, I want to learn Water Gun. That's very bad if I don't do that.
I was going to say, we just learned Water Gun, and what that means for like the next 5-10 minutes, all the stuff we're talking about just devolves down into Water Gun now.
Yeah. So a lot of the fights on the upcoming routes, if you have, if you're in Torrents, pretty much everything's a one-shot, and if not, then pretty much everything's a two-shot.
So around the first fight, we'll sandbag a little bit, take a little damage, and then spray him down.
Alright. So we will have to get a couple of things on. We're going to do a quick shopping trip. We're just going to stock up on some potions, antidotes, and sleep heals. Words. I'm also going to pick up a paralyzed heal because I need to catch Paris. And I got, normally we get only 3 repels, and we manage our repel steps through an upcoming segment, but I'm gonna pick up a revive in there for safety. So I picked up an extra repel. And fortunately, so for marathon runs, races, things like that, in an upcoming fight, we get a nugget that we can sell for a lot of money, so I'm gonna use that to pick up some extra items later. There's just a few differences if you're doing like a marathon or a backup run that you do just to make sure you're a little less likely to die, because again, a lot of fights here are dangerous. Alright, so we're gonna hope that this Caterpie tackles us instead of string shots us, because string shot's slow. Okay, great.
Also, a minor note that we glossed over, the guy right at the beginning of the route, he gives you running shoes, so just a pretty nifty quality of life speed increase.
Not quite as nifty as when Gen 4 and later, where they let you run from the start. But at least it's not Gen 1 where you don't get anything until you can get the bike. But yeah, we're gonna be running, and running shoes are also helpful because there's a few manips that we do to pass spinners and optional trainers. And basically involves forcing them to turn your direction, and then there's like a certain frame window where they can't move. And if you run stuff at the right time, you can have guaranteed safe passes so long as you do it right. So that won't be used till up in the next route, but...
Ooh, you just popped out of Torrent.
That's a shame. So yeah, so these things, these next two, Kuna, that's obnoxious because they can't damage you because all I know is Harden. But these are both 2 shots outside Torrent, 1 shots in Torrent. Would be a marathon with some rocks out, some rocks in the road at the beginning. True. that there's rocks in the road throughout the entire game. But with the power of Love Berry Pokemon, safety saves, and stat boosting items, anything is possible.
Or if you are in Ruby and Sapphire, Rock Smash. Okay, 14's Torrent here.
Alright. This guy might tackle us. If not, I might fight Rocket in Mount Moon. Alright, so after this, we're gonna go into Mount Moon, and there's we have to fight one of 4 optional trainers to get enough experience. And so what you want to fight is kind of dependent upon your HP, nature, whether you're in Torrent or not. So the one that I'm most likely going to end up fighting, it's Rocket Grunt. And they only have 2 Pokemon, so they're considered the fastest. But its Rattata is faster than you, and it has Hyper Fang, which can both, it can flinch you, and if I'm fortunately just outside of the damage where it can KO you, so I might still save before that fight. Cool. I'm also picking up a very useful item right now.
This item will pay off in like 10-ish minutes, hopefully. But Person Berry, it's a held item. It's consumed when your Pokemon gets confused and instantly cures the confusion. And if it doesn't get used at Misty, it's a nice safety item. Yeah, it's a nice. There's a few fights where you still get just a free confusion heal.
Yep. So yeah, Misty has 2 Pokemon. They're both water types, a Staryu and a Starmie, and they both know Water Pulse. And I think with my defense values, she's more likely to not use that. At least so is Starmie. But Water Pulse is like a 20% chance to confuse you. Water Pulse, coincidentally, is also the TM she gives you after we beat the gym. But if you get confused, the fight can get ugly if you get bad luck, so... Right. And I am going to save before this Rocket.
Yeah, this fight, especially with Hyper Fang in play, can be a little dice rolly.
Because again, if even, it's not going to kill me unless it crits, but it can still flinch me with Hyper Fang, and the Rattata is range. So hopefully we'll just get good luck. And if it tail whips into Hyper Fang, that's bad. Okay, quick attack is fine.
Yep, we're in Torrent. Great. It should die, and
we're gonna evolve after this fight too, so being lower health is really nice for staying in Torrent.
And we go from roughly 50 base special attack to 65. Speaking of which, one of the things that we haven't mentioned yet, of course, the siren starts right as I'm about to speak. All right, so one of the things that's different about Gen 3 compared to later gens, in later gens, each move is a pentaspecific move, whether it deals special or physical damage. In Gen 3, it's still a point where each move's damage type is based off of the type of the move itself. And so the reason why we care so much about special attack is not all, but most of the moves we'll be using, Water, we use Bite, which is a dark type, Blizzard, which is ice type, all care about special attack. There is one important move, which is coming up soon, very soon.
Favorite move, Mega Miss.
That depends on attack, but most part, special attack gaming.
So, yeah, there's 2 moves that we depend on and that really carry us through this game. They're very high power, but they're low accuracy. So the first one we're getting is Mega Kick. It's 65 base power, but it is, or not 65 base power. It
120.
is 120 base power, but it's only 75% accurate. And then when we get late game is Blizzard, which is an ice type, which is super helpful for Venusaur, Lance, and the Elite Four. And Blizzard's 120 base power too, but also 70% accurate. And for every Mega Kick miss and for every Blizzard miss, in this run, I'm going to be donating $5 to our charity Outright International. So y'all gotta help me keep up with all these misses. And with how variable things are, I've had runs where I don't miss any kicks and maybe miss like one blizzard. I've had runs where I've missed about a dozen. So could be donating $10 from this, could be donating 100. Stay tuned to find out.
And so, and one of the factors that play into that is right after Misty, we have Rival 2 coming up. And so let's talk about a little thing I like to call frick kicks. So Bulbasaur is annoying. Bulbasaur hurts, kills Ron's, just wrecks Wartortle, and what we try to do is bite into kick him. And so pretty much every time we're using Mega Kick, it's because there's this annoying Pokemon we need to die ASAP, and that means a 25% chance for the fight to go bad each time you do a Mega Kick.
Alright, so I didn't repel because I do need to catch a Paris, which is fortunately 100% chance to encounter it in this room. Okay, great. The only thing is it has a bit of a low catch rate. Alright, level 5. I think Torrent Bubble. Okay. So hopefully it just gets in the Pokeball. Here's a backup Great Ball I can grab outside the room if this breaks out 4 times, which I really hope it won't. Stay in there, buddy. Thanks, friend. Alright. So, I talked about earlier how we fought an optional to get enough experience. And I did that to hit level 18. So we're gonna pick up one more rare candy, and before the Misty fight, we're gonna candy to level 20. And at level 19, we get Bite, that dark type move that's gonna carry us throughout. We will use it through endgame. Great. I withdraw, and hello to Mega Miss. Great. And so, again, the Misty fight. With my stats, because I'm minus defense and a little bit lower in defense IVs, her Starmie is a lot more likely to use Swift than Water Pulse. So I should be good on Confusion. Staryu can still confuse me, but that's a lot less likely because it's very likely to go for Harden on turn 1. And a lot of this run is just kind of adapting to the stats of your Pokemon, and because like the squirrel you get, your trainer ID sets the RNG seed. So pretty much every run your squirrel is going to be a little bit different. And I mean the run is still very similar, but you kind of have to adapt based on the stats you get.
Yeah, behind the screens, the notes basically turn into a giant flowchart. If this, do this. If this, do that. And early game, some of the things are much simpler, like spam water gun. And then the fights turn out to be like, use this move here, this move here, this move here. If you're on PP, use this move.
And if you're minus attack nature, the damage of your Mega Kicks is a little bit lower. Especially depending upon some of your things. There's a few more things that are extra ranges. So, long story short, you kind of have to, what is it called? Like something, adapt, improvise, overcome. Great. It was a really good roll, so don't do it. There we go. Yeah, so Staryu's almost a guaranteed 2-shot, and then Starmie, you can 2-shot it, it's very unlikely. Okay, yeah, it's going for Swift. So, yeah, I do tackle here, because she does have a super potion. Great. Okay, there we go, easy enough.
But yeah, despite the fact that we didn't use the Person Berry here, it can still come in useful later.
So after this, she's going to give us Water Pulse, and I'm going to teach that, and I'm going to heal up a little bit more, and then we're going to go into Bridge Rival fight.
Yeah, Rival 2, it's too risky to try Man's Torrent like that. Just heal up, and so.
And because right now
Especially
we still
because-
only have potions instead of super potions. So we kind of have to be careful about how much damage this can do. And then she has a Pidgeotto that has both quick attack and also a sand attack. And because I'm just over half HP, it might be likely to use that. Fortunately, we can just swap out if it does. But this will be another fight that I save for.
And like we were mentioning about Mega Kick, one thing about Sand Attack is that it basically turns all of your moves into Mega Kick.
Yeah, so you get Sand Attack once, it like goes down to 75% accuracy. I think it takes Mega Kick from 75 to like 56% after one, so...
It takes it down to basically an even 50.
Yeah. Alright, so this fight can go pretty easily. Probably gonna go for the Bite Flinch. So Bite also has a 30% chance to flinch, which if you move before your opponent, there's a chance that you, oh no. Okay, I didn't mean to Mega Kick there. I didn't take my input up. I'm supposed to Water Pulse a second, but it's fine. It's fine. Alright, so...
Yeah, we have a couple extra Mega Kicks. As long as the important ones hit.
Flinch is good.
Oh, flinch!
Nice. Okay.
Frick kick!
Great. Okay, yeah, this fight is free from here on.
So 0 misses so far, and we gave it one more chance than we should have.
Oh yeah. So when you're not in torrent, that's a range. Sure, War Gun that. So there's so I'm sure you all know a bunch about super effective moves. So like in this case, Abra Psychic, Dark is super effective. But if a move is not super effective and can knock it out, we usually prefer to use that because for speed runs, it saves time because you don't get the "it's super effective" text, which over the course of the game, even if it's only like a fraction of a second, if there's like a few dozen things where you do that, then it really does add up. Alright, so this next section is pretty chill for me. There's not really anything dangerous up here. There are a few Oddishes that we have to kick. Oddishes have really high special defense. So, they're 2-shots with Bite, but they're 1-shots with Mega Kick. So we usually prefer to Mega Kick them unless we run low on power points, but we'll worry about that later. But yeah, there's not really anything on this that can KO us. So this next section of the route's relatively chill.
Yeah, like the notes say, after the first Pokemon on the second trainer, Water Pulse, Water Pulse, Water Pulse, Water Pulse, Water Pulse. We're back to spamming the same move again.
Yep. And so, PowerPoint move management, we haven't really talked about that much yet. So each move has a set number of power points. So the more powerful ones generally tend to have fewer. So like Mega Kick has 5. Bite has it, what is it, like 20 something, Water Gun's 25. And so you can restore those by healing at Pokemon Center, but that's pretty slow. Fortunately, there's also items, ethers, and elixirs that we can pick up over the course of the route that we can use to heal power points. And so there's a few of those that we'll be picking up over the next few minutes and then a little bit later on as well. And so, it's routed out really well where we know what we're going to do. Okay, we hit. Alright, we did hit the kick. Alright, yeah, there's 2 more Oshes at the end of the route, but otherwise, everything else we can just Bite or Water Pulse. I used up all my bad Mega Kick left the past couple of runs. There's one by this point where I had missed 4 kicks the other day, and then I think last night in my practice run I missed like 3 at this point.
Oh yeah, I think there's like 3 misses right in a row on bridge.
Yep. Which is really unlucky. Like it's what, like a 6% chance or something to do that. Yeah, that's my dog Trixie in the background.
Yeah, Trixie is very adorable, but sometimes she gets very needy at inopportune times, so she might be making a guest appearance over audio.
How much you have to donate to make me pet her? her. Well, I'll be petting her for sure at the end. 1 million. The dog will get pets, I promise.
Trixie is loved very much.
Yeah, I know y'all just watch my streams for Trixie, and that's totally fine and encouraged. Alright, Creeper, I'm listening. So after this segment, we're going to, if you can all raise $100 in the next 10 minutes, we get a pet for Trixie. I will do that. All right. Yep. Y'all got 10 minutes. Actually, let's say until I beat Surge. So if y'all raise $100 before I beat Surge, which is like 10 to 12 minutes, then I will give Trixie pets as soon as I can. So where are we at right now? We're at 210. All right, if we can hit 310 before I beat Surge, Trixie will get pets mid-run. Because that's worth our time loss.
In the interim, because it's going to be coming up shortly, Sheltie mentioned spinner manipulation. Trying to get trainers to look specific ways so you can pass them more easily. And so we'll see coming up run to walk manipulation. And what you do is you run up to the square right before the trainer's line of sight. And what that does is it manipulates the trainer to look towards you, out of where you're trying to cross. And then you have a small window to safely walk past where they would be looking.
Yeah. So, yeah, this one up here, this guy in the yellow cap, if you do it right, he has like a 1 in 16 chance to hit you because of the number tiles you have to walk. And if you hit him, it's not a big deal. He only has 1 slow poke. And there is like a guaranteed safe pass you can do called, we call it the Shiru pass. Again, Shiru 666, he's the one that has the world record in this game. But it involves like running exactly 1 tile and it requires a lot of practice, so we're not gonna be doing that. Okay. Yeah. Simply get lucky. Alright, so there's only a couple more fights at the end of this. So this one and the next one are fine. And then the last girl, she has 2 Oddishes and then a Pidgey. And so they're both the Oddishes we have to kick. They're both... Well, the second one's a very low range if you're in Torrent. And if I just miss a kick, then I'll just end up biting it.
Are you going to pick up the ether at the end of
oh, yes.
Bill's house?
Yeah, there's a ether right by this house that's coming up, and so I'm going to pick that up. So I'm going to need to use ether to restore Mega Kick power points because I'm going to need that for 2 more fights after this, maybe 3.
Damn, now we've made it up here. Let's ditch Bill.
Ditch Bill? Wrong game. Wrong game. Yeah, so Ditch Bill is kind of a meme category in Let's Go, where if you have a bad run, or if you're just doing Ditch Bill, the guy in this house up here, he is, he got turned into a Pokemon, or so he says. Oh no. Whoops.
Oh no.
Okay, yeah, he is a 2 frame. I should have waited for that, that was bad. Okay, but he only has 2, so it's not that big of a deal. Usually it's a pretty safe pass, but I timed that wrong. So that one's on me. Fortunately, everything on this route, because it's like pretty weak, it's just the quick KO with Water Pulse. Step 1, yeah, stand true. Yeah, just Water Gun you.
And yeah, this fight is, as Sheltie mentioned, not too much of a worry. Unfortunately, the converse, extra XP isn't likely to be that much of a boon to us, especially due to how the route's level curve works. We'll be jumping it pretty hard pretty soon.
Yeah, and there's a couple of extra times where we're gonna use candies. All right, one.
Have you not missed a kick
I
yet?
have not missed a kick yet.
So much for talking about accuracy and how, like,
Okay,
you missing kicks is such a pain.
don't say that yet because we're just getting started with kicks.
That is true.
Quick attack.
So-
is fine.
Speaking of accuracy, there's another rival fight coming up, but the next really scary fight coming up is Surge.
No,
and
there's
Surge-
don't forget about Boat Rival, but we save for that too. So
I said there's a rival fight.
yeah, you said the next fight is as scary as Surge though. Oops.
I said really scary.
And Boat Rival can be pretty scary. Actually,
Fair
because
enough.
of my stats, it's because
Okay.
Bite into Mega Kick is not always. Sometimes it's a range, but I think at my stats, like it's either. I think at my stats, I don't have to worry about it unless I get like 2 ridiculously low rolls.
Okay, Surge is the more memorably bad fight. And part of that is because Surge has a Raichu, which does a ton of damage to War Turtle. And it likes to double team and paralyze us. And so, very quickly, it can turn into, or trying to hit a coin flip Mega Kick into like a 40% Mega Kick into like a 30% Mega Kick.
Yeah, it's really bad because Raichu, it outspeeds you. It has Shockwave, which never misses. That's kind of that move's gimmick. And yeah, it's just a bit of a dangerous fight, but no worries. We just gotta get lucky. All right, so there's one more kick we gotta hit right here. This guy has 2 pokes. The second's a Drowsy, and again, even though it's Psychic type, it has really high special defense. So we prefer to kick. We gotta kick it instead of fighting it. And then, because I'm out of Torrent, there's one more fight after this. I think it's a Eradicate. That's what it's called. Oh, the kick. Alright, so there's one more before Surge, or one more before Boat Rival. Before I gotta hit the kick. But yeah, so now we're just gonna, so Bill gave us that SS ticket, which we're gonna use to get, we call it Boat Rival because it's on the SSN. Yeah, each rival really has a nickname. There's that first rival, which, Rival 1, Lab Rival, second one, Bridge Rival, Boat Rival's next. And then there's Tower Rival, Lavender Tower, Self Rival. There's several rival fights in this game. Not as many as some. I think like Black and White. I think like literally every other fight they make you do a rival battle.
I mean, you also have like 4 rivals in that one.
True. Huh, unlucky.
Oh,
I actually ran extra time.
last tile.
I did not move. I did not do optimal movement there, which if you do, yeah, 1% chance to get an encounter.
Oh, I got 5 and 6 mixed up. Oops.
Alright. Got, actually I wonder because I get that level up here. Still gonna go for the kick, because if I miss, it's not that big of a deal.
It's only $5.
Oh, that's not even what I'm talking about. I was thinking about HP for the upcoming fight. But we
I know.
Okay, so when I actually commit to donating money, I hit all my kicks. So I just need to do that like every time. That's what it is. Alright. And
You need to put like a Mega Miss jar on your desk
oh my god.
every time you miss a kick.
It's like a square jar except for when I miss mega kicks. Oh. Like a few more of these.
Oh, Creeper, you should wait till we get to Agatha.
I know. Don't remind me of last night. Last night I was doing a practice run and
when we get there, when we get closer to the E4, we can talk about it.
Okay. So I'm gonna rare candy at the start of this fight, or right before this fight, and I am going to save for it because there is a. If things go bad, they go bad. If things go good, it's fine. Here. Yeah, we can't at select time, so really extra experience doesn't do much for us. Alright. So this fight has really similar strategy. Well, you donate 25 times more if I miss a 1% hit. I'm a grad student. I can't quite afford that. Oh yeah, so like later on, there's a couple of picks we do that we use an X item, so X accuracy, and that ups the power of or not, it ups the accuracy mega kick from 75 to 99%.
And
So
Blizzard
missing those
goes
is
up from
unlucky.
Blizzard goes up from like 70 to
Splunch.
93.
Yeah,
Are you just gonna get? Oh,
there's a
$5.
kick.
I was gonna say, are you just gonna get perfect frick kicks? Like bite flinch into
Alright,
the kick
here's
hit?
$5. Okay.
Oof.
It's fine. I know the damage range is well enough that things like that don't worry me because I know I'm only dead to crit there. And we have to heal anyways because there's a cadaver that outspeeds us a little bit. Oh shit, okay. Well, anyways, okay, we gotta heal again. Yeah, crits are a 1 in 16 chance to happen in this generation, so... Dude!
Oh! Not there, 100% chance to happen.
Oh no, two misses.
And this is what fights can turn into sometimes.
Okay, that's not bad, that's not bad. We're fine. Okay, so we're at 2 missed hits. Yeah, I think I'm supposed to kick there, but it's just gonna hit itself in confusion and take itself out. Or not.
And we get crit. Okay.
So this is why we pick up a revive. Yeah. Alright, so if I die on the third, I'm saving for that and I'll need to reset it. Okay, I'm actually glad I
ladies and
didn't
gentlemen,
there because that would
and everyone else, this is the FireRed Leaf Green experience.
Welcome to FireRed Leaf Green. Alright, I do need to pulse this.
God.
Yes.
As this fight, you want to take a minute to talk about cans?
Okay, yeah. So, now that this fight's over, we're gonna get the HM cut from the captain, and then we use that to get into Surge's gym. And so, Surge's gym, a lot of gyms have a puzzle or something, so for Surge's, there's trash cans, and it has like 16 or whatever. Either 16 or 20, I forgot. But, so there's a switch hidden in one of the cans, and then there's a second switch hidden in one of the ones that's adjacent to it. And it's completely RNG dependent, so like thinking like Let's Go, it's always a set can because they're spoiled. Wait, what? But in this one, you have to like find the first one and then find the second one that's adjacent to it. So, fortunately, after the first one, you can save, so if you get the second one wrong, you can just soft reset. But yeah, so a lot of this is RNG dependent, and so if you get really unlucky, you can lose so much time just like looking for cans, much less the actual fight itself. So, all right, bye boat.
But yeah, let's see.
Great. Yeah, so there's only one optional fight in this gym, and then Surge's first 2 pokes aren't that bad, and I think I outspeed both of them, so yeah, it won't really be an issue. But yeah, Paris is why we got cut.
Did you fight Youngster Josh? I can't remember.
I did not fight Josh, but I have 29 speed, IVs, so... Right. Pikachu
You,
can use quick attack on the optional.
Let's say 29 ties. Ties the Voltorb.
That's
Pikachu
fine.
got speed.
Alright.
Yeah, we're not worried about Voltorb.
Okay, this is really good. It's this can. So I'm just gonna fight this guy so I can get that out of the way with. And so it's either the can to the left, right, or below it. So I'm gonna go with left first because that's optimal. But I am gonna save after this fight.
Yeah, at least we can cheese it with saving and not to do pure randomness.
Yep.
That would be fun.
Fun's a word for it. Alright. Okay. So yeah.
If
Not
we
that big of
didn't,
a deal.
if we weren't able to save, this would be the out of combat mega kick.
Okay, come on. Alright. Oh, alright, third try cans. So yeah, this is pretty bad cans. It's worse if you do, what's worse is if it's like one of the ones in the middle where you need, where you have like 3 chances to get it wrong.
And the worst case scenario is the middle one. You check the 4th one and it's the bottom one.
Yeah, I've literally had, the worst I've ever had is where it was, the first one was the last one I checked. And then the second can, there was like 3 it could be in, it was the 3rd one. So that's like the worst I've gotten. So I haven't gotten absolute worst cans yet. Alright. So it looks like here, you either have to Water Pulse and then Mega Kick it, or second Water Pulse if you're in Torrent. And because he won't Shockwave me into Torrent, I'm gonna have to Water Pulse into Mega Kick. So it's good that hit. So now I have to hit a Mega Kick. Okay, 1 miss. Okay, I'm just outside. 2 miss. Am I at 4 misses now? Fortunately, he's guaranteed to quick attack here, so I can just do this. Alright, 3 misses. Well, that's a crit.
And there's...
It's fine.
Yeah, now we're speedrunning FireRed.
Yeah.
Misses on Rival, misses on Surge.
Alright, so okay. I'm gonna need you to help me keep the running tally of Mega Kicks, so I'm at 5 now.
Yeah, I've started.
Screech is fine. I just have to keep that in mind for quick attack, damage, potential. Yeah, this fight is painful, does easily end runs. So like for PB attempts, we usually we'll save for cans because that's really the only thing that makes sense too. But it's like if you die a surge, you die a surge. Because if this was like a actual run or PB attempt. Okay, Thunder Wave turn 1 isn't terrible. That's bad. Okay, Shockwave. Okay. Now he's gonna oh. Yeah, I thought he was gonna Shockwave me again. Okay.
Oh, the Raichu's confused. And then
Yeah, but he's gonna use a full heal on this next turn, so I think I just gotta hit 2 more. Okay, that's... Yeah. Fortunately, I can just mostly warp full 6 to this fight.
Oh no.
It's fine. Shockwave, okay, just don't die. Okay, we're fine.
Okay, we're good.
There we go.
Phew. And now the run becomes a little less dice rolly from here out for a bit.
A little bit, yeah. That was
It's not till like really late game that we start seeing fights again that are like close to Surge level
At least
annoying.
Not for like mid or late game. Yeah. So with that, fortunately, we're gonna get access to items that help us speed up X items, stat boosting items soon, so we won't have to worry about getting outsped. So yeah, this guy's gonna give us a bike voucher after he tells us about his Rapidash.
Hey chat, tell us your favorite Pokemon.
Rapidash, cute, lovely, sweet, whatever. I need to memorize that. Alright. But yeah, so now we're gonna run back to Cerulean City. I'm gonna pick up the bike from there, and then we're gonna head out into Rock Tunnel. Thank you for running into me.
My favorite Pokemon? My favorite Pokemon is Trixie.
Trixie.
Okay.
That is an acceptable answer. Alright. Yeah, the bike helps us speed up a bunch too, which is nice.
So, coming up soon is Rock Tunnel. And normally, what you're supposed to do casually, at least, is grab Flash and use it to help illuminate the cave and make it easier to navigate. Instead, what we're going to rely on is our memory and a map. And by that, I mean a map, because between the two of us, we don't have memory.
Hey, I can cheese it on my own without a map now. Oh, Trixie's.
And then an optional hit or two.
Alright, so yeah, there's only a couple more fights, but again, at this point we're still pretty over leveled, and between that and Torrent, it's not really that big of a deal. So this fight actually, in Gym 1, you just cheese this one with Thrash with Nidoking, but in this one, you have to hit 2 Mega Kicks. No,
Mega
Trixie's
Kick.
my dog. It's not a Pokemon, Quantum. Okay, so yeah, alright. Okay, hit that one. See, I told you all you didn't have to worry about, me not missing any Mega Kicks. I already missed 5.
Alright, just keep tally that.
So after this one, I'm gonna... Oh,
Yep,
6 kicks.
another miss.
It's unfortunate. Look at that. Yeah, these things actually, they just have like the powder moves and then Sweet Scent, so... Okay. We're good. Alright. So yeah, I'm gonna do run to bike here. Let's see if I can be good with this. Okay, yeah. So basically with that, like that guy on the bottom's a spinner and you manip him to like face you with the run, and then when you hop on the bike at a certain tile, guaranteed safe pass. Once again, assuming that you do it right. I just assume I did it right if I don't get hit. Which I know is not the right way to do it, but details. Alright, so being in Torrent for this section is pretty good as well. So coming up in Rock Tunnel, there's really only one dangerous fight. Martha, she has an Oddish and a Bulbasaur, and you gotta kick them both. You can double bite Oddish, and if you have actually lower attack, that's preferable. But my attack's good enough that we're just gonna kick it.
So yeah,
But I am gonna save
an extra frick kick time.
bonus frick kick. Bonus super potion. So I don't want to run out like I did
Don't need
last
that.
night. I bought a couple extra ones.
I don't think there's a thing as like
Too many.
having too many in this context of safety.
Yeah, for safety strats. I am more than happy to get a couple extra potions because late game you want to use that for when you need to manipulate Torrent for the Elite Four and things like that. And last night I had run out, and long story short, it was bad.
It was funny.
So, alright, so both these like there's a couple slowpokes we fight, and they're like really low damage ranges, but they really don't do much to us.
And luckily, despite being water, so they resist some of our stronger moves, they're also psychic, so Bite works really well on them.
Doesn't quite KO them, always. It's like a 3 and 16 or 4 and 16 or something like that. Bonk tunnel. Alright, so I can tank one Razor Leaf from Bulbasaur, assuming I don't get damage here. Okay, yeah. But because Razor Leaf has such a high crit ratio, I'm gonna save before Martha.
Yes. Oh.
Alright, yeah, I'm just gonna save here. Oh, I forgot to update the link. So, how many kicks do I have? I got 2, so we're just gonna hit both. Easy. Yeah, and again, like if I miss a second kick, I can just double bite and Bulba, but... Hey, there we go. I'm just gonna super here. Okay, 7 missed kicks. Please don't crit. Nice flinch. Okay, yeah. We're fine from here. I also need to remember, so we do have an elixir. Like, now that I'm on Mega Kicks, I'm gonna elixir a little bit later on to restore power points.
Sorry about that. I had to mute real quick to...
yeah, the rest of this fight's in this area. They're pretty easy, free. Don't really have to worry about anything. And then there's one more manip that, run to walk manip that I didn't right last night, and I walked right back up into the trainer. But,
okay. Yeah. But once we get out of Rock Tunnel, I want to take a quick moment to talk about the overview of the route throughout the game, because after Misty, roughly, you can really approach the game in whatever order you'd like to, and we do deviate from the nominal badge order. And so once you get out of Rock Tunnel, we're going to immediately head over Celadon City and beat up Team Rocket. Then we're gonna head to Koga, defeat him, go to our favorite gym leader, Blaine, jump the level curve hard there, and then go back and clean up Erica into Silph into Sabrina.
yeah, when we go beat Blaine, like the mansion that we have to go into there, we pick up Blizzard, so that just makes... Yeah, that just makes Erica fight a lot easier. Okay, so I got Elixir here too.
And in that time period up to Blaine, we get so much extra experience that Blastoise becomes higher level than most things until end of Elite Four.
Late game, yeah. And I mean, even with Blaine, it's not that much of a that we're over leveled, but also because we're water type, and then we're gonna be in Torrent. Because again, yeah, a little bit later on, we're gonna start to manipulate our HP a little bit more too. So like right this section, it doesn't really matter that I'm not in Torrent, but starting around the next rival fight that's gonna come up shortly after we beat up Team Rocket, that's what we're gonna be doing. Alright. So we have 2 more fights in here. This guy. And I'm going to do the optional dodge correctly this time.
Yeah.
Yeah, movement's a
Rock-Tunnel.
very important part of this game, and just actually doing it well.
Rock Tunnel, you have to do it basically blind. There's a lot of trainer fights, and it's just a really annoying, grindy section.
Yeah.
Not much you can do about it to really speed it up.
Fortunately for this game, what's the last one? Victory Road, you don't have any mandatory trainer fights. So, kind of the trade-off with that. Like in Let's Go, I know there's a few mandatory ones. Alright. So I can just correctly. Alright, there we go. Alright, one more kick with this girl. It doesn't look like I'm gonna get a Rhyhorn, unfortunately.
Yeah, fortunately, Pokemon Let's Go Blastoise doesn't need any extra Pokemon.
Did you know at the beginning of this game, in that intro screen, they say Let's Go, which is a reference to Pokemon Let's Go. That was released like 10 years later. Or more. Alright, what's that, 8 missed kicks now?
Yes.
Alright. I'm just gonna go ahead and do this. What? Well, I didn't know it could do that. That's a thing. FireRed did predict the future. Yes, Gym Break. Okay. I've never been whirlwind by that before. I just didn't switch back in because first of all it just KOs and I did not want to mess up my experience. Alright.
Okay, because if it didn't knock out the Pidgey, it would split the experience with the Pidgey and the sing back in the party.
Yeah, not only is that like waste time with level ups, but it messes up experience a little bit. Alright.
So we're gonna pick up escape ropes and forget what the other item is here. 2 repels, which repel we glossed over, but what it does is it prevents wild Pokemon that are under the level of your lead Pokemon in your party from appearing as a random battle, and so it cuts out some of the portions where we have cuts out some of the randomness of portions where we have to run through grass or in tunnels, and so 2 repels just has the effect last for longer.
Yeah. Yeah, at the beginning you can only buy, they only let you buy repels, but this is enough Subarus for the rest of the game. And so, in the mansion, and then over in, what's it called?
Victory Road?
Yeah, Victory Road. Like, you have to be a little careful with, like, step management and things like that, but... Alright. Dodge all these optionals. Alright, let's go and beat up Team Rocket. So yeah, they have their hideout in the game corner here. And so we're just gonna do that. So in, we have to do this to get the Self Scope, which lets us make it to the top of Lavender Tower. And in Gym 1, you can just do like the Pokédoll skip where that Marowak ghost fight that you normally, in this one you need the Self Scope to see. In Gym 1, you can just like fleet out with a Pokédoll and skip it.
Mm-hmm.
But they fixed that mechanic in here. Alright, so I think I do have to kick this rat again.
And there is a very convenient like lineup of events here. At the end of Rocket Hideout, there is a fight that's basically a difficulty of a gym leader fight, Giovanni. We hit 36, is it?
Yeah,
We-
so right before
we level
Geo,
up
we
at-
hit 34, and then we
34.
rare candy at 36.
Okay, yeah, we were able to hit 36 right before Giovanni, and the interesting thing about 36 is that that's when War Turtle evolves into Blastoise.
Yeah.
And so we get a huge boost in power right about when we need it.
Yeah, there's a reason we candy specifically for that and get to 36 right there. It's very important that we're Blastoise for that last fight, because otherwise it's really hard. Alright, so for these, this guy has the elevator key that he pretends he has no idea about. So we're just gonna get it from him, then we're gonna go up. There's 2 more grunts we have to fight in here. But yeah, this section still with like all the grunts and stuff, over leveled, just water pulse everything. And I am going to actually no, I don't need that. So do pick up the candy right here. My way out. Yeah, so that one, that guy, that rocket right there, he is 4. That trainer, he is 4 pokes, which is like really slow if you hit him. But fortunately, we don't. Great. So for this one, just gotta fight these 2 real quick.
So yeah, up until after we get out of Rocket, the rest of the fights in here are not too interesting, especially because Giovanni we get Blastoise, and so it's just more Stick and Torrent, which we're just out of right now, unfortunately, but try staying Torrent and burn through trainers.
Yeah, so here I just gotta bite it and then water pulse it. Okay, good flinch. Because it does have a couple things like glare.
Yeah, and the only thing that can really give us much trouble is Giovanni's Kangaskhan, and that's mainly because Kangaskhan is pretty tanky, takes 2 to 3 hits to down him, and has a really nasty combo can potentially pull on you, which is Fake Out and a Mega Punch.
Yep. So even here, I don't think that'll be an issue. Because I'm out of revives, yeah, I think I'm gonna save before, just to be safe. Alright.
And the reason why that is, and Fake Out and a Mega Punch, if we're in Torrent, that combo can kill us, and by can, I mean we like pray for a miss.
Alright. So use my candies here. No. Oh, that's bad.
Oh.
Okay, yeah, we're definitely saving here. I have a couple backups that I can do, but... Yeah, that's not good. Yeah.
And I was gonna say, when it starts evolving, don't press B.
That's the menu. Alright. Well, that's a thing. It's fine. We'll figure it out. We'll figure it out. Let's just make the run a little bit more spicy now. But yeah, this Kangaskhan's like a bit more of a thing.
Bit more of an issue now.
Yeah.
Luckily, the Onyx and Rhyhorn don't matter.
Yeah, they're they're quadruple weak to water, so. What would a marathon run be if you don't have to, please don't punch me, okay. Great. Hopefully it doesn't Mega Punch you. I also forgot that it outspeeds you if you're not evolved. Okay, we're fine.
Okay, well, turns out it didn't matter.
We are completely fine. Not an issue at all.
Yeah, we saw the moves that don't matter at all from
Yep.
Kangaskhan.
Alright. Pick that up, that's kind of important. Yeah, can't throw this run at all. Definitely not.
The one time the game just gives you the fight.
Yeah, it's when I don't give myself the fight.
Okay, so
Alright, so
now we're going to do a thing called breaking the game in half because it lets us by buying X items. You know how I talked about combat stages like an hour ago? Well, X items are you use them to spend a turn, and you can use them to boost a specific stat. And so what a lot of the hard fights really turn into at this point is pump up Blastoise with a bunch of X items, and then just mow down the opposing trainer's Pokemon. And so we're gonna buy 1 X attack, 5 X speeds, 18 X specials, 5 X accuracies, a few guard specs,
I bought
and
extra
surplus.
because safety. That's also why I sold the nugget earlier, so I have a little bit of extra money to do that. But now that we have those, I'm just gonna go pick up the HM Fly. And we're gonna heal for the rival fight, which now I'm not gonna be evolved for, so that might be an issue, but again, we'll figure it out. We can do this. Yeah, normally this fight, it's not that big of a deal. But because I'm not evolved, that might be a thing. Alright. So we're just gonna push him once.
And here we picked up the main reason why we have a Pidgey in our party, and that is Fly. And so I mentioned we are approaching this game in non-linearly, and Fly really helps us to do that because we can just go back and revisit places we've already been to.
Yeah.
And so we don't have to run back to places we've already been. We just need to basically run once to each individual place and not to care about the fact that we're visiting things out of order.
So, yeah, so being Surge's Gym is what lets you use Fly outside of battle. And there are a couple of alternative routes that you can do a little bit later where you do Surge Fight a little bit later. Yeah, we do Surge Fight a little bit later, but that also means you can't use Fly. So you gotta work around that a little bit, and that's also why it is a little bit slower. It's a good strat for races and things like that. Alright. So yeah, you're usually Blastoise for this fight, but we're gonna cheese it.
Hey,
Yeah?
are you still in streamer mode on disc?
No. Because I think that was the issue that I had earlier where, like, I couldn't be in chat with y'all. Alright, we're gonna...
That shouldn't affect it, because I have streamer mode on right now.
It was an issue for me. Alright, so... Alright. Does this kill? Oh, well, it crit, so... Yeah, just rely on crits. That's what you gotta do. So this fight was still free. I may need to do a little cheesy things later on to get back into torrents, but totally fine. Ember's fine. Just don't burn me. Oh no. Oh no.
Oh no.
Yeah, that might be
So
a
I
bit
got
of an
distracted
issue because we don't have anything to heal burns.
Did I miss any kick misses?
No, I hit
Or-
all kick. So fortunately we're also done with Mega Kick now. So I did actually buy an extra escape rope accidentally. Nice crit. But I think I'm going to just, what's it called? Yeah, I'm gonna escape rope out, I'm just gonna go heal and then come back in. Or I can just step on the heal pad up here. Alright. Come here. See, we're just gonna make everything work out. Alright, quick dog pet. Alright, now we have Blastoise. So yeah, up here there's gonna be a heal pad, which normally we don't take, but because I am burned, and we don't usually account for burns because that is pretty much always a non-issue in this run. Fortunately, because burn lowers our attack and we're pretty much only reliant on special attack, that's not going to be an issue for the fights. There's only a couple of optionals until we get the heal pad, and they all have one poke, so... I'm going to do one more trainer bag manip right here, just so we can pass her safely. Actually, I'm going to just go... There we go. So yeah, I'm going to need to get back into Torrent before Koga. I can also just use a couple of, like, X specials. Like I said, we're just gonna make things work. Because I'm Blastoise now. Next section, you still just like this next section, you still overpower almost everything.
And hopefully we'll get to a point where that rare candy is not much of a big deal.
And there was
There's an
extra one I can pick up towards the end of the game.
Fair enough.
So I have a couple of ideas, like if things, depending on how things need to go. See, the real reason I didn't do that extra candy is because you just gotta do like the backup strat where you don't evolve War Turtle at all, because that evolution scream is just so much time loss. That's totally why I did that. Not at all, because I had my cursor on the wrong thing and didn't look to check.
Yeah.
I do wonder.
Luckily, that's not something that's going to really be too much of an issue.
Alright, I'm gonna change this a bit. I might change up the route. There's a couple of different experience routes you can do. And so I might try to like switch to more of like the earlier one, depending upon how levels go. Yeah, I'm just gonna cheese it a bit, and then if I need to, I need to make something work, that's fine. I think Soil also damages me now.
But yeah, this was the fight where we need to go to grab the Silph Scope. So we didn't do that. We would get here, and instead of being a Marowak, it would just be a ghost the entire time, and just be like, ooh, I'm a ghost, and you just can't do anything to it.
Yeah. Alright. Yeah, so for these, I'm just gonna, I think Water Pulse here KOs everything, even though I'm not in Torrent.
Yep, that's the advantage of being pretty far ahead of the level curve right now.
Yep. And you're just fighting a bunch of bad guy grunts, which they're like never, ever really miss you. Okay, this Golbat might be a 2-shot. Or, yeah.
Yeah, this Golbat was a roughly 40% chance to one-shot, but in Torrent, it's a 100% chance.
Yeah. One thing. Okay. So yeah, so these again, just a few more that we just have to knock out a bunch.
All right, so...
And then I think this one, because I'm not in Torrent, I just gotta bite it.
So it's we're still a little bit out from there. Probably less than 10 minutes. I realize I lied a little bit. There is one fight that does get a little bit scary in this midsection of the game, and that is Koga.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Koga.
So despite having...
Go ahead.
So despite having X items, we set up to a point where some of the Koga's Pokemon are ranges to knock out, and that gives him a few chances to hit you with Sludge, which doesn't do that much damage on its own. It's a decent amount, but also it has a chance to poison, which we set up on Muck. Muck has a turn to sludge you. It can poison you, which means you have like another 4 turns of taking poison damage. Wheezing is a range. That fight can go bad.
Yeah. So, with the stats I'm at right now, it might actually be... So the good thing is, like, normally you want to be in Torrent when you go into Koga. But because I'm not, I'm gonna have to set up a bit. But that also means I can do like what I did earlier with at the beginning of the game with Sammy. And if I get poisoned, I can just I can just use that to... Yeah, I can use that to like I can basically use poison just to like get me into Torrent. Alright, whoops. Let's go here. Gotta go fly. So now that he has the Poke Flute, so that's gonna let us wake up Snorlax, which is blocking Cycling Road and the path to Koga. So we're just gonna go get that now. And we're gonna go down Cycling Road. And then we do make a quick trip to the Safari Zone where we get Surf. And after we teach Surf, that's going to be like our main water type move for the rest of the game. It's really strong, like 95 base power. Same type attack bonus because we're water type, and when we're in Torrent, it just sweeps so much stuff. And unfortunately, we can just run from the Snorlax. It's not worth any extra experience points or anything, and because it can just stall, it's doing with anything with its time loss. So there's a couple of trainers like here I have to bag manip, and there's a couple of like alternative like pause manips and things like that you can do that I am not practiced / skilled enough for yet. But these are guaranteed safe passes, so.
Yeah, luckily that section is just scarier than it looks.
We picked up that rare candy, and then we're gonna pick up a max elixir right here.
And then on to Koga. There's one trainer we fight in here, but
yeah,
because we're not Torrent, we just
special, and it's not gonna be any issue.
One X special is equivalent to being in Torrent.
Yeah, or it makes it makes up for not being in Torrent.
So Safari Zone. In here we go to pick up Golden Teeth, and the 1 HM we don't care about teaching the Blastoise, and by that I mean we get to teach it to Blastoise. Yeah, Surf is an 80 power move, 100% accurate,
Surf's
plenty of PowerPoints. 85? It's somewhere
was
in that
90.
range.
It was either 90 or 95. Because I also know they changed it in like more recent gens too. Or wait, is Surf even in? I know they got rid of HMs. I don't know anything past Gen 4. Please ignore me. But
Surf is in later gens. It's just non-HM.
okay.
It 95 in gens 1 through 5.
Okay, there we go.
But yeah, it's basically me Blastoise's bread and butter from as soon as we get it.
We're picking up this extra revive because, as things show, we need that.
Imagine if we get Surf and let's go.
Yep. Alright, so we're just
'Cause,
gonna
yeah,
go
and-
over here. So yeah, just quicker to fly back out than to do anything else. And then we go back over here, and we're just gonna go into the gym. And then we teach Surf when we do the first menu to pass this guy. And we just teach it over water gun.
And water gun, what is that, like 40 power?
Yeah, water gun's 40, so, and then water pulse is 60, so this is a very, very nice upgrade, even from water pulse.
We'll be able to actually use Blastoise's cannons now.
We do not get Hydro Pump, though. When did we figure out we learned that? Like level 60 something, which we don't even get to in this game. It's something like later. Yeah, we only get to level, I think 57 is what we end up being at. Let's see. Yeah, so now that I've set up the next special, we can just serve all these. Ooh, I just realized I probably should have fought Josh because I'm 29 speed. So I think I'm still gonna have to set up the next special, or well, I'm gonna have to step on Sabrina anyway, most likely. So that's not gonna be an issue. And I bought enough X items.
So it's not gonna affect Koga at all?
Yeah. We outspeed Koga regardless. Koga's not an issue speed-wise. All we have to do is, yeah, if you're not in Torrent, you want to set up a next special. But if you are in Torrent, then you don't have to set up at all. Just hope you don't get poisoned. And I probably should have saved there, but details. It's really not that dangerous. It's just, if anything, it's gonna be slow, but it's not gonna be dangerous because I'm not in Torrent. So
yeah, we're gonna launch.
We can't set up on coughing because it has smoke screen, and that'll lower your accuracy. But I'm gonna next special on. Alright, minimize is fine. Surf miss. Let's do it again. Alright, just don't miss 50,000 surfs. Toxic is a thing.
How much do we care about Toxic?
We'll see.
Fair enough.
I don't think, because there's only, what, like 2 more turns of poison damage we have to worry about. So I really don't think it's going to be an issue, because I can just heal poison after. And I could
we're not really...
Actually, no, I think this is fine. I think this is totally fine. Because this is, I have to bite Wheezing anyway the first turn. So even if it sludges me, okay, sludge is fine. This is.
And we don't take poison damage here because last Pokemon of the fight.
And I am gonna count down a little bit. All right, 55.
So one of the quote-unquote good things about poison, since a lot of this route is about managing HP to stay in Torrent as long as possible, One of the good things about poison is that it does damage to you over time out of combat, taking down 1 HP at a time, so you can set the perfect HP for the next section of the run. And this will take us through Blaine at least.
Yeah. So like once I get out, I'm gonna super repel. And then I'm gonna heal poison there, and then we're gonna fly to Foul Town. Take like one more. Okay. So we're just gonna super repel here. Just gonna have a couple of antidotes. Yeah, I'm being at 36. That should let me be in Torrent for the next couple things. Now that we can use Surf outside of battle, we can go down to Cinnabar and fight Blaine.
So yeah, will we even need to set up an X speed for this fight?
For Blaine, no.
So
We're not
yeah,
enough that we
Blaine
have to do that.
Blaine is just face roll with Surf. One shot everything. We're a little bit behind in levels compared to Blaine, but that doesn't matter.
Yeah, I shouldn't have to set up anything because I'm in Torrent.
Yeah, we're water, he's fire. Water puts out fire.
And then I'm just not going to grab the Carbos, and I'm going to X-Speed on Sabrina anyway because my experience is a bit wonky. Super Repel. Here we go. Would help if I could do movement correctly.
That's a novel idea.
I will not forget to grab the mansion key.
You know, movement's gonna be a problem.
Yeah. Alright. Yeah, one of the few things I should have practiced a little bit more before, but we're good. Yeah, movement's just important here because you don't want to run out of repel steps early because you can encounter things in here. And then our Mega Kick upgrade. So am I at, was I at 8 or 9 Miss Mega Kicks? I think I was at 9.
I might have missed one. I think my tally's at 8.
Anyone in chat remember if we were at 8 or 9?
We're at 9.
Okay. We're at 9. Alright, so you can skip all the traders in here as long as you answer his quiz questions correct.
And it's always the same every time, so yep. We don't even need to read the questions. We can just enter in the same.
A-B. Just memorize.
One each time. Tombstoney. That's my favorite Pokemon move.
My favorite Pokemon move is Tombstone. Wasn't it like Tombstoner in Gen 1 and they changed it?
I don't know. I don't remember what the questions are then. Or for then.
Yeah, I don't run. I haven't run the Gen 1 games, so all I know is from watching other folks speed runs, and as we've established, my memory is trash, so I don't remember a lot of stuff. A-B.
Yeah, luckily, this fight is easy and sets us up for making the rest of the fights up till Elite Four easy.
Alright.
Relatively speaking, of course.
Easy, yeah. So I don't have to set up or anything on Growlithe, so I can just... Surf, and I can pulse Ponyta. I do want to save... Yeah, there's like one thing I want to save Surf for.
So, coming up, we talked about Bill before. He gave us a ticket to the SSN, but Bill is not only a PC guy, his other his other main interest is boats. Unfortunately, we hate boats. So right after we get out of this gym,
He's
Bill is
invite us
gonna
to go on a
ask us
little
out.
island trip, and if you say yes, then that basically takes you on like a 15-minute side quest. You gotta you really can't get out of.
And that's why we save before Blaine, even though Blaine is a super easy
I
fight.
didn't save before Blaine. You just say no to Bill. But yeah, there's been people on like PB.
Let me have my joke.
Accidentally say yes to Bill because they're smashing A. I just take like the inherent time loss of only pressing one button and just mash B the whole time he's talking to me. Because saying yes to Bill, that's like big oof.
So notes say here in bold, in big font, say no to Bill.
Yeah.
So we do get to ditch Bill in this game.
This is when we ditch Bill. Yes, I am too busy. I'm doing a speed run. Alright, so now we're gonna go take care of Erica. Get back here. So yeah.
We go to
the
6th gym leader. This gym leader is, she's always more difficult than Koga and Blaine.
Honestly, I prefer this to Koga because she can't really it's pretty much just like we like to play our favorite game, esports. And that's just hitting Blizzard when you don't use any X items. So instead of 93%, 70%, so
Yeah, this is a little bit less trolly than Koga, but type disadvantage. We do want Blizzard for the Violet Plume, and so it does not better to do this one later, and when we have more tools that are effective against Erica.
So yeah, I'm gonna save. Actually, no, I'm not gonna save before because I can afford a Blizz Miss, and I still have a revive. I'm gonna go ahead and teach Blizzard here. I could have taught earlier. I probably should have because I'm saving my second candy. Goodbye, Mega Kick. Hello, Blizzard. Alright, so we're at 9 Mega Kick misses. Now we gotta start counting Blizzard hits and misses. So fortunately for Erica's first Pokemon, if you're in Torrents, you can surf it. But if you're not, you gotta close it. But yeah, I brought my HP down just enough that I should not have to worry about that at all.
Yeah, Surf, Bite, Blizzard. Only 3% chance for this fight to have a bit of a hiccup.
And so, because I'm out of Giga Drain range for her Vile Plume, it's very likely to just try to paralyze me or something if I miss Blizzard. So I can always like super and heal with that. Alternatively, actually, you know what I'm gonna do? No, I'm not going to do that. So alternatively, so Tangela, you want to try it with Bite, but it's very likely to go for Ingrain on turn 1 as long as you're out of kill range. So you can always X-Spec on that if you have a Surf left and then Torrent Surf. Or you can just hit Blizzard. Pre-roll crit hit.
So one of the quirks about how Kill AI works is that it will actually pre-roll the move and check for crits and everything. And so there's odd times where it will go for a kill move because it got a really good roll, and then it uses its kill move and it doesn't kill you. And so that's the joke of getting a crit pre-roll and crit hit, which is normal crit rate squared, which is really low.
Yeah, so like 116 times 116. Alright, so we're going to go on to our next rival fight. You're really trying. Thank you. Alright. So yeah, that's why we picked up the tea earlier, because they won't let you in unless you do that, and then they're like, oh, we'll share it with everyone else, which is disgusting, but I digress. So before this, we're going to, I think we heal. 3, 4, 5. There's one trainer we got him up here, potentially 2, depending on how this scientist moves. Move, buddy, thank you. Yeah, he only has like one tile vision, so yeah. Max Elixir here. Yeah, I'm just gonna super here too. Right. Yeah, we need this card key to get into Geo's office. Yeah, this guy only has one Arbok, but it's still a pain to fight, so we just do this.
So yeah, now we get to actually fight Giovanni proper this time. A rematch with an actual Blastoise.
But first, we have to take care of this dude.
Yeah, our rival's just sitting here in the middle of a den of evil, just chilling.
He's like, hey,
Seems
I saw
a
you
little
earlier.
suspicious.
You could be here. As if there's nothing he could have done to help. Rude.
I mean, to be fair, May, Gen 1 Gary, it does make sense. He's that much of a jerk.
Yeah, he kind of is.
Yeah, I'm just gonna let you clean up after this huge whole mess. Smell you later.
Alright, so now that we use that X accuracy, so these blizzards are going to be 93% to hit instead of 70.
So that means misses count double, right?
Oh, crap. Well, there's one.
Don't you mean two?
Okay, okay.
Okay.
One Miss Blizzard. We're fine. Okay, so that Gyarados also, he's like 1 in 4 to use Dragon Rage there, which would have killed me. But I one-shot with Blizzard when it's up 2 stages, so did not worry about that.
And yeah, Kangaskhan still has the Fake Out and the Mega Punch combo.
Yeah.
Actually, we outspeed it, so it's just Fake Out and a Fake Out we need to worry about.
Mm-hmm.
Because we one-shot the Kangaskhan now at... Oh no, is it still a range in Torrent?
Kangaskhan
Yeah,
is
it's still
13
right.
and 16, so it's a good range. I'm just gonna go ahead and use this here.
Mm-hmm.
I'm hoping if I time this right, I won't have to like go and pick up an extra one pre-E4. I may still have to, but we'll see. I'll see where I am after the last rival fight. Because the problem is, if you teach strength early, I could have moved that boulder out of the way in the strength, in the where I got that guy his gold teeth. I could have moved the boulder out of the way, gotten the candy there, but then I would have had to teach strength over water pulse, which we still need water pulse for, as you can see. So there were backups, but you just have to go back late game when you don't longer need water pulse.
But luckily, it's only the first Giovanni fight that can be a little hairy because of the Kangaskhan. the rest of the Giovanni fights in the game are not too bad.
And I'm out of Mega Punch range. So really it shouldn't be an issue, because even if it does fake out, I'm really good chance to one-shot it, so we usually don't worry about this fight. As long, especially for an opponent. And so it's another reason we set up Torrent, like, technically pre-Koga, but as I did after Koga, is because, after this we're gonna go straight to Sabrina's gym, and you need to be in Torrent for that. And then after that you go to Giovanni's gym, surprise, surprise, he's the last gym leader. Alright. Okay, yeah,
And Torrent makes pretty much all these fights up until the end of Giovanni free.
Giovanni 3, aka Giovanni Free.
But
Is literally the least dangerous fight in this game, which is hilarious.
after Giovanni free, we have another round of 6 fights that are
Not
scary. And that is Rival 5?
No, that's Rival 6. Viridian Rival.
Rival 6, which is the least scary out of all of them, into Elite 4 plus Champ. And so, overview of Giovanni, it's just... Giovanni is just Water Pulse and Surf down. But once we get closer to Giovanni, go over an overview of the rival strat and some of what's to come, the horrors of Elite Four.
So here, yeah, you one-shot everything in Torrent, but her Alakazam does outspeed you. Fortunately, her second to last poke is Venomoth. That all it can really hit you with is Psybeam. And it does less than 20 damage. I think it actually caps out like 15, so we just X-speed on that, so we don't have to worry about not being outside by Alakazam, which has Psychic and can do bad things to you. Use this. Alright, that is, that's actually not that good. I'm going to... I think if I normal potion here, I just don't want to be confused for... Okay. Where did I have it? Oh yeah, I still have this thing from earlier. So as long as I don't get into another confusion. Okay. It's only 10% to confuse, so that's pretty unlikely. But totally free, and I don't have to heal at all for at least until we'll free that last rival.
Yeah, up until the end of Giovanni, it's just one shot. One shot everything. I think there's one range, the first Machoke.
It's only
on oh yeah, without Torrent. I can't read.
You're good. Most things, yeah. Again, Torrent, if there's anything you take away from this game, Torrent is god item. It's seriously like one of the most important.
The ability?
Yeah. The ability is a god item.
Same difference.
Don't question it.
Too late, already am.
Okay.
I've questioned too many things during the course of this pandemic to not question that.
Fair. Alright, yeah, there's 2 trainers in here we have to fight, but again, you literally drown everything in this gym.
And we go to talk to this guy from here, because if we don't, he moves down and blocks off this the path down below him.
Yeah.
And we want to be able to pass right by underneath him.
And we want to save a couple of Serps. Because we're going to need them, because we're not going to restore any power points before the last, before Viridian Rival. So like I said earlier, there's no mandatory trainers in Victory Road, and then we're just gonna heal by depositing some stuff in the PC right before we go into Elite Four, so. Alright. One down, one to go. Spinny tiles move a lot faster than they did in Gen 1. I think they move pretty slow in Let's Go, too. But yeah, we can go ahead and start talking a little bit about our strategy for the last rival fight. So we're just gonna set up, that full restore we picked up in the Safari Zone, we're gonna use that. And we're just going to set up a couple of X items, do X specials and X accuracy.
And are you gonna use a guard spec?
No, you don't need a guard spec because it's not gonna sand attack you. I think it still is Feather Dance, but that lowers your attack, and all of our moves are special now, so we don't need that at all.
Yeah, and we go to +2, and then we're able to one-shot everything except for the Gyarados, which isn't too scary, as Gyarados can't do much to us. The one Pokemon that's really super scary to not one-shot is the Venusaur, and since we're going to Blizzard it, there's a chance that we don't one-shot it, at least the first attempt.
Well, yeah, first of all, it's a 15 and 16 range to one-shot with Blizzard, and of course Blizzard's going to be 93%, so...
And if it doesn't, then Razor Leaf is going to do about 80 damage to us.
We die. Unless it misses. There's a 5% chance Razor Leaf misses. So it's been Mist Blizzard into Mist Razor Leaf before. However,
and we need to set up an X speed on a Growlithe before the rival's Alakazam, because if we don't, depending on our HP, because if we don't, we'll take a Psychic from the Alakazam, which does about another 60.
Yep.
So if Pidgeot's nice to us and we hit the Venusaur Blizzard, we might see an X Speedless strat, but chances are we'll need to.
We'll probably just XP for safety unless... I haven't checked how many Surfs I have left too, so there's an alternative strat you can do. So there's a chance Gyarados after the first turn it uses Rain Dance. Another reason we need to X speed for Alakazam, because even if you're out of kill range, it can use Calm Mind, and then it can tank a Torrent Surf even though you're set up at +2. But if Gyarados uses Rain Dance, that powers up your water type moves a bit more, so you don't have to worry about that. But you still have to be able to tank the Psychic.
Rain Dance is another 50%, and that's multiplicative with combat stages, which is multiplicative with Torrent. So you're doing like a 5x Surf or something.
Ridiculous. So you have same type attack bonus, you're in Torrents, you're powered up by water, and then you're powered up with 2X items, so... Alright. So these last 6 fights we're still going to be saving before. For very important reasons. But hopefully we'll get lucky and we'll have minimal to no issues. I know, like, in my PB attempts and stuff, I'm at the point where I don't save before the Elite Four or anything like that, or like in the Elite Four or anything like that, so it's like, you can play through almost 2 hours of the game, and then if you die, you die. So... Store here. Not on the Pidgey. Like I did the Candy earlier. And like technically I don't need to save here because if I get KO'd I can just fly back or bike right back over. But I don't want to waste the X items, so.
What a surprise to see you here.
Alright. So 2X specs and X accuracy and then Yeah, you can skip the X-Ack if you want to go risky and try to save a turn, but that's not something I like to do. Because then you have to hit the hit an X-Ack Blizzard on Venusaur. And because Racial Leaf has such a high crit ratio too.
Alright. Let's hope for range.
We're good.
Okay, we're good.
Yeah. From here. I think I can just bite that. Whoops. Yeah. So Gira, fortunately it's even though we two-shot it, its moves aren't that really dangerous to us. And of course, Intimidate's not an issue because all of our moves are special now. Okay, Flinch is fine. Alright.
Here we're gonna execute because we didn't get the rain dance.
Didn't I forget to XP here last night? I feel like I did.
Yeah, you did.
There's a lot of things I forgot last night. Yeah. And Growl is so weak that, like, +2, we don't even have to surf it, we can just fight it. But then we do surf Alakazam. Alright.
Okay, so now that we've got this fight out of the way, let me give you an overview of what Elite 4 Plus Champ looks like. First, we got Lorelei, which, well, back when we first got to Celadon and went to the Rocket Game Corner, we picked up the Black Classes, which boosts Dark-type moves, and Lorelei is where that pays off, because that is dump a bunch of X specials into Blastoise on Dugong, because Dugong can't do much to us, and then just bite through pretty much all of her Pokemon. There's only one of her Pokemon that is a little wonky to deal with, and that's the Lapras, because the Lapras is really tanky, does a decent amount of damage with Body Slam, roughly 35, and can get a Paralyze on us with it.
So we're teaching Strength too, so we're going to teach it over Water Pulse because we don't need that anymore. But we don't use Strength at all on the Elite Four.
The next fight is Bruno, and there's two strategies we have available for Bruno, but that really depends on the HP we come out of Lorelei with. There's Agatha, which we'll talk about Agatha later. Lance, are you gonna do safe or risky strat?
Probably safe. It depends on So there's a couple of different strats you can do. I have 31 special attacks, so if you do the safe strat, it's still like basically you don't have to hit like a 95% range. But the range, it's if you have 30 special attack, it goes down to like 85%. I'm probably gonna use safe strats.
Mm-hmm. And so
I'm not like short on X items or anything, so. But Victory Road's pretty much just maneuvering a bunch of boulders around and then dodging a couple of optional trainers. So aside from a bunch of bonks, this one's not really much of an issue.
And so and Lance is basically, aside from a lot of grass types we faced, Dragon's also very annoying, and so another reason to have Blizzard. And Champion, which is kind of a rehash of the the Rival 5 fight we just faced. There's a little bit more of a flowchart with that in terms of X-item usage and setup, but that's guard spec, take 5 turns to set up on Pidgeot, roughly, and then mow everything down.
Yeah. So there's a couple of ways that can go wrong too, but we'll get to that a little bit later. Basically, we don't want to get crit by Pidgeot, because then we have to kind of wing it.
Let's go back to Agatha for a second, though.
No.
Agatha, we have to set up on a Gengar. And this is one of the things that can happen on
You're not
Agatha. I told you I was doing it.
Yeah, it's really bad. So you want to go into Agatha on Torrents, but you also want to be out of Shadow Punch range on Gengar. And it likes to double team, so you need to set up an X speed and 1 X special if you're in Torrent, and if you're not in Torrent, you need to set up 3 X specials. So it can set up a bunch of double teams. It can choose to Shadow Punch you early. It can Toxic you. It can confuse you. And I didn't have any healing items, so I kind of had to just save and reset last night in my no reset run. So long story short, I spent like 10 minutes trying to beat Agatha, but that's not how it's gonna go today. We're gonna go get it first time.
And we want Gengar to try to beat up on us, pretty much because, well, if we don't, we talked about how much we didn't like Mega Kick misses. All of our surfs are going to be... We have to get through Confusion. We'd be draining from Toxic. We'd have to hit a really evasive Gengar, and it just becomes not fun.
Yeah. Alright. So we're gonna say goodbye to our faithful bird and crab. So we only want to bring Blastoise into the Elite Four for a few reasons. Partially because it's time save on like the Hall of Fame split, but also there's a couple Pokemon that can either Roar or Whirlwind us, and they like to do that if we set up enough. And we tend to set up enough so that it prompts them to do that. So we're just gonna let them chill in the box. Alright. So Lorelei just set up a bunch of X specials. You usually don't die unless you get like unlucky with crits. And you can always heal if you get a little bit too close, but hopefully this will go pretty smoothly. But yeah, 4X specials. Dewgong's gonna like Surf, Ice Beam, maybe Hail us. We like Hailless because it saves a lot of time. Ooh. Nice crit.
Ooh.
3. Unlucky. But I mean, Hail now isn't too bad. You just gotta keep an eye on damage, because at the end, Lapras is a 3-shot unless you flinch or crit it.
And we can expect to take roughly 70-ish damage from the Lapras.
Yeah, 70 over 2 turns. So, like, if I go in at, like, 6... I think I'll probably be close to, like, 50, 40... I can probably tank one Body Slam, but I might just, yeah, I'll probably just full restore turn 1 on Lapras. Because oh. That's not good. I did not... Oh, I think because my experience was messed up. Yeah, that's why. Okay.
Did you pick up the extra rare candy?
No. It's
well...
fine. That's just a little bit of time loss. I know what I need to do. Yeah, you're supposed to be 51, like, going into this fight, so...
Oh well.
Okay, that was a good damage roll, so... Just don't freeze me here. There we go.
Oh, why did you open your mouth?
Okay, it's only a 10% chance for that to freeze, so she may hail again. I don't care. Yep. Yeah, there's a lot of things that can go wrong in this game.
Alright, there we go.
We're fine. Yeah, so the next one, they're all one-shots with either Bite or Serve. Cloister, please don't protect.
Yeah, that's the only really, aside from Lapras, Cloister Protect's the only really other catch from here.
And if anything, it's not a big deal, it's just a little time loss. I know I've said that like 50 times across this run, but...
I mean, this game is time loss.
Yeah, playing this game is time loss. It's a fun game, I really like it, but it's time loss. Honestly, the thing I like about it the most, what I like about it, it was like really easy to get into because as much as that initial manip sucks, it's the only manip you have to learn for this game. so it's really not that big of a deal. And like, especially when you're just like starting out and learning, if you like get a Manip Squirtle, just save and like practice from there. Time lost that JPG, yes, Eminem.
And what Sheltie did at the beginning, where she had a backup Squirtle, that is race rules as well. So the FireRed Leaf Green community will hold races, and you don't have to worry about, getting a Manip on a race. It is still a little bit of a bonus because you don't have to reset and go back in using a different save, and you can just keep going. But
here we go. That's fine. I was forced. Alright, so slow.
Yeah, hopefully.
No big deal. Okay.
So, are we high HP Bruno or mid HP Bruno?
I'm gonna do mid HP strats because I don't like to risk the speed drop, and if I need to like play around with stuff, and I have a couple healing items, so. And I also did buy an extra guard spec, so like worst case I can play around with that again. But yeah, there's a couple different strats you can do with the Bruno fight. Basically, you outspeed Onyx, so it's gonna want to rock, and you're gonna set up on that first Onyx. It's gonna want to rock tomb you turn 1. And so like that drops your speed. So if you guard spec turn 1, it'll be fine. And then you need to set up you need to set up to +4 X specials if you're not in Torrent, but only 3 if you are, or 2 if you are.
2. No, to say 2.
Okay, so what do we get here? Okay, I don't think that's Torrent going into Agatha, so. Okay, we're fine. So, you want to manipulate this so that you're in Torrent going into Agatha. And so that's why it's okay burn extra X special there. But I think I would have like leveled out of Torrent going into Agatha if I had not taken that little bit of damage. And also Hitmonchan knows Mach Punch. So if you're in range to kill, which is like 25 to 30 health depending around that. So yeah, I'm just outside of Mach Punch range. Like I think a max roll is 33.
Don't we have an extra super?
Yeah, I have an extra super potion, so I could have supered there if I needed to, but...
I meant going into Agatha.
Oh yeah, I have supers, and I have regular potions too, and I still have the Oran Berry that I picked up earlier. But I think right now, like, I'm looking into Shadow Punch range. Yeah, I think I'm gonna Oran Berry right before going into Agatha. And I'm still gonna stay for that, but I have supers, so... Agatha will be nowhere anywhere close to them as of what it was last night.
We hope.
So yeah, I'm just gonna Oran Berry here because I'm also mild, so I take a bit more damage from Shadow Punch. But yeah, out of Shadow Punch range now, still in Torrent, which is like sweet spot. And why it's also helpful to like pick up that Oran Berry early game or also have a potion. I think I could have... I don't know if I could have potion there. That might put me just outside of Torrent. But hopefully what we want to see is 2 double teams as we set up and then just hit serve. Just hit 4 head. Edgy 5 head. Speed. Shadow Punch, that's okay. Because now I can just, do this. She's relatively unlikely to Shadow Punch turn 1 if you're not in Shadow Punch range. Oh, am I still in? I think I'm still in Shadow Punch
you're
range.
28.
Okay, I'm fine. It's actually, okay. It was fine if she Shadow Punched again there because that would have, okay, 1 surf miss. Here we go. 2.
Oh no.
hit. Please hit. Okay, we're good.
Okay. Phew.
I would have had to soft reset there if this surf missed. Which at that point
And-
would have just been worth it.
And we outspeed and one-shot everything else, and we need heal the full at Lance, so...
So we're fine.
We don't
from
care.
here on out. Nothing else with Agatha has quick attack. It's only that Gengar that's a problem. Because we have the X speed. We're in Torrent. We kill everything. We're at +1. But yeah, Agatha is a big run-ender for one that make it this far for hopefully obvious reasons at this point. Yeah, we full restore before Lance, and then as long as you play Lance right, and you don't miss like a 93% blizzard, you're usually fine. Full restore here. Should probably have done that. And then
Creeper, it's not just any trainer fight, just most of them.
Yeah. Like, if I made a clip compilation of every fight I've died to in this game, it would be like a third of the fights, at least. Because there's like a few optionals that are safe. Like, if there's Nugget Bridge, and... what else is there? Yeah, there's like the Rocket Dudes and Lavender Tower.
But on the flip side, there's plenty of optionals that are terrifying.
Yeah. Okay, so yeah, all you use to set up on this fight is an X accuracy and X special. And with the strat that I'm doing, I'm just gonna bite first turn, because that helps us get a little bit of chip damage that we need. That's a good crit, too. And we just want to make sure we stay out of Hyper Beam range, and I think that puts me in it with that crit. So I'm just going to go ahead and full restore to be safe. Because I'm mild, so I'm relatively low. Yeah. Oh, nice miss.
Hyper Beam.
That's really good.
Hyper Beam range. It's pretty dependent on our defense, just because of how hard it hits.
Yeah.
But what's our defense again?
So we're 11 defense mild. Oh, that's gonna make him heal.
Okay, so yeah, the Hyper Beam can do about
Up to
80 to 95 damage to us.
So like if you're like not minus defense nature. Okay, second blizzard miss. Oh wait, I think he might be able to. Whoops. Yeah, it was. Oh yeah, because I crit on that first. What's it called? Yeah, I crit on the first. I crit on the first bite, so that's why that blizzard put him in heal range. Because normally you just bite and then 2 blizzards. So that was misplay on my part. But yeah, if you're like not mild nature, not minus defense, if you have pretty good defense, Hyper Beam will only do like low 70s. But if you have really bad defense, it can do upper 90s up to 100. So is that 2 or 3 blizzard? I think we're at 3 blizzard misses now, right?
3 blizzard misses against Lance?
Or total of 3 blizzard misses.
I'm not sure. I've just been keeping them together with the Mega Kick misses.
Okay, what's the total misses we're at then?
I have 11? 12.
12? Okay. Whoops. Got 4 restore again.
I might have missed 1 or 2, but...
I think that's 12 sounds right. I'm actually gonna do slight safety strat here. I'm doing an extra X-Spec just because I don't want to go over time limit either. So that's gonna up these blizzards basically up to 100%. knew there was a good reason I put 225 as the time limit. Because usually, like, with no reset runs or things like that, I can do it in, like, 215 to 220, but I like
This
to
run can
plan for
have
things
a
to-
lot of
I like to plan for things to go wrong. Yeah, double check Aerodactyl Hyper Beam damage. I might actually have to full restore on Aerodactyl because I think I'm just in the upper range of Hyper Beam damage. And I don't want him to do that. If I get lucky, he'll re-attack, but...
Your Aerodactyl does it to 78. Low end's 66.
Yeah, like if I was rash or modest, I wouldn't have to worry. Well, it outspeeds me anyway, so that's honestly not a big deal. Okay. Just don't get the boost. Perfect.
All right, last up is Champion. And rough overview, we're getting Guard Spec to prevent Pidgeot from messing with us. And pump up a bunch of 3 X specials and X speed. And
Alright. So
do we
gotta
X-Act
kinda go along
on
with a couple
Venusaur?
things, too. Okay, so so you do Guard Spec turn 1, and you need to set up an X speed, 3X specials, but then Guard Spec runs out. So you gotta go into Venusaur, but fortunately Venusaur's only attacking move is Solar Beam, which requires that first turn charge. So you X-Act on the first turn of when Venusaur goes.
Oh, that's right. I forgot. Like the first time I learned about that, the fact that Venusaur just solar beams you.
Yeah, because like it gets rid of Razor Leaf, which is an interesting choice of the
Scary.
developers. All right, so we just want a bunch of sand attacks here because if Pidgeot attacks me too much, then I just have to go when I'm not fully set up.
Yeah, I think the AI doesn't count for mist being a thing, so it might still select Sand Attack.
Yeah, it's still, yeah, so it can...
Yeah.
This is good. Great. 1.
And...
I actually might do a thing depending on if I get... Okay. So this is a balance
Yeah,
I
if
do for
we-
races, is I'll bring an extra Guard Spec. So it wears off now. But I can Guard Spec here, and then I can just go ahead and set up my X accuracy.
And we'd be at -6 right now if we didn't have guard specs, which I forget how the math works out. It's different from the other stats.
It's low.
Yeah.
Alright, so the blizzards I still have to hit, they're still 93%, but like again with Blastoise, 7% miss into a 7% miss is incredibly unlikely. I think I've had it before, but hey. Or I meant with Venusaur. Okay, we're good.
And missing on Gyarados isn't that bad.
Yeah.
Just because Gyarados doesn't do too much to
You
us.
have to heal on it anyway if you take damage throughout the fight, because Arcanine has extreme speed, and that can do like up to like 60 or 70 damage. I think because you outspeed it, it automatically goes for it most of the time anyway.
Yeah, it's range. The extreme speed range is 45 to 52 right now, or 53 high end.
And if it crits, I could take like 100 damage.
Just because with Stab and Surf being such a high power move, Surf does more damage against than a Bite against Alakazam, and it skips the super effective text to not use Bite.
So he's Bite, Blizzard, Gyarados. Alright, and then just Surf the Arcanine. And so, after this fight, there's like 1 more minute where it takes you to the Hall of Fame, and then I'll say time, but it's gonna be when like Hall of Fame fades out. Oh, well, I'm glad. Yeah, I was out of crit range. That was not any risk at all.
It heard you talking about finishing the run.
Alright. gonna go into a little thing here. I'm gonna talk about how you're good at raising your Pokemon. But yeah, this is FireRed, Leaf Green, any %. Thanks for sticking around for the chaos through watching. Alright, so it looks like that was 12 missed Kicks and Blizzards total, so I will be donating $60 for that.
And I'll match you.
Thank you! I think there were a few other folks that talked about they were gonna match too, so thank you to anyone that does that, and to everyone who donates at all in general. Very excited to... This is my first marathon run. Very excited to do this with my stream team for our charity. For Outright International. Alright, so time's gonna be on fade out. And... time. Alright.
GG.
30 seconds underestimate. There we go. Trixie. Hey. I'm gonna get Trixie real quick so she can say hi. Hey. Thank you. Trixie's being antisocial.
Poor Trixie. Or
Come here. Come here.
poor us.
Don't worry. I can. But yeah. Thanks to everyone for watching, coming by. Hope you enjoyed the run.
Yeah.
All right.
Thank you, everyone, and good luck to the rest of the runners.
Yep.